Good morning, everybody. I don't know how well you could be able to see this because it's only 7 o'clock. Been going since 6. I've only had one order, which was a McDonald, but I just got one then, and it is a Coles pickup. I have to actually go in and purchase the product and then take it. One item, which is quite bizarre. I can't really even see what the item is. It's too small to see on the screen. No, I don't want to look at that. Go away. So $17.86 for 14 kilometres. So it's about 8.5, 9 miles. $17.86, and that is going to take me out into the Nulla. So I'll have to put it on pause to come back into my area, or else who knows where we'll end up. But anyway, nothing else was happening. We're saying red card required, so we're going to go in and purchase one article and then take it to wherever it's got to go. The first one I've had from Coles. I've had one from a convenience store before, but not from a grocery store, so hopefully I don't F it up. Right guys, I'll talk to you after I've finished it. Right, bye. Well, I managed to do it. I don't seem to have broken anything or stuffed anything up, so... But then again, it was only one item. But we did it. We went in there. We didn't manage to use our own card. We used the right card, which was the one that was in the wallet. So, all good. So now I've just got a 9 minute, 7 kilometre, so 5 kilometre, blah, 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 5 mile drive. Am I going the right way? No, excellent. I'm not going the right way. Anyway, we'll see if we can go across here without being T-boned. We'll go down here and do a U-turn and be on our merry way. But that was quite faultless, really. So we'll go and drop this fella off and then we'll move on to the next job. Alright guys, talk to you later, bye. Okay, well I think that was quite good. The description in the app and that for the aisles and all that sort of thing I thought was excellent. So I don't think it was too bad of an experience. But we've put it on pause because that is just a lineup of traffic for probably the lights down there might be 6 or 7 Ks. So that's just peak hour going that way. I'm not going up that way. So I have paused our dash and I'll drive right back to where we came from, because that was, I think it was 17 kilometres or something. But yeah, this traffic, you could take an hour to get through that way. I'm not going, and there's another shopping centre just up there. I'm definitely not going up there. So we'll head back this way, like basically just straight out there towards the ocean is where we want to go. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised. So we get out of that and we come back to our photographs. So it told me the aisle was aisle 11 and bay 41. So from what I can work out, the numbers are from where the registers are. So one starting up there, then 41 back the other way. So it was pretty easy to find, even though it was just one tiny little box by itself. The experience was fine. So we will see how the next one goes, because I'm sure that after saying that everything's fine and that the next one will be an absolute catastrophe on how I operate. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. What else did I get there? No, that's it. Yeah, that was really easy. So I enjoyed that experience. All right, so we're going to head back to our little hidey hole where we hibernate and wait for another job. So what did that take? 40 minutes. So yeah, that's all right. It's better than what I was doing, sitting there doing nothing. All right, we'll go back this way. All right, guys, thank you. Bye. Well, yesterday I was a dick and forgot to push accept, which dropped my acceptance rate from 99 to 98. Now, today I've done 2 deliveries and it jumped back up to 99. So the one that I forgot to push the button on yesterday was a double, so it would have made me 100% acceptance rate. So now I've got to wait another 98 deliveries to go to 100. Oh well, that's life. All right, so we have one from Woolworths. So it is $13.99 for 4.6 kilometres. So 3 miles, $14. So that's not too foul. So we'll pop around and pick that one up. I just thought that was funny that me being a dickhead yesterday and missing that one meant that I now have to wait another 98 or so to jump back up to 100. Okay, we just dropped off that Woolworths direct to boot and I didn't quite get back, and we've got another one from exactly the same spot and it looked nice, but I had to... Okay, so it's $29.30 for 9 kilometres, so 5 miles. So that's not too bad, but it is 2 drop-offs. That's a pretty good price actually. $29.30. Must be extra kilometres in there. I can't see any more kilometres in there though. $29.30 for 9 kilometres or 5 miles. Huh. 2 orders, 17 items. It sounds too good to be true, but it is Friday, so maybe they're blessing me. The Doordash gods have said, give Murray a good one. All right, we will go there, and I better make sure, yeah, it's the one I think it is. Yeah, it definitely is. All right, that looks awesome. All right, I'll get back to you, see if there's any hidden things. Oh, that didn't turn out too bad. I dropped both of those off, so it was $30. And I see, but I was worried about all this. This is the new underground freeway, so they've got the big boring machines under the ground here. I didn't really want to go back that other way because it's 30. It was funny listening to the pollies. They said, "Oh yeah, to be down to 30 kilometres an hour." But the benefits are great, but they forgot to mention that it'd be 30 kilometres an hour to 2031. the major line running out to the suburbs and that. But yeah, politicians are funny, aren't they? They make me giggle all the time. Anyway, so that actually went along quite well. Something's going to go wrong further on down the line because today is just going along swimmingly. Anyway. All right, so we will head back to the area, our little hibernation spot, and see what else we pick up. All right, guys, bye. Okay. Just got back to the store and got another job. It's AH-SAI-Yee. And I'm puffing because I ran into the store and it's not this end. So now we're going to go to the other end, which is half a kilometre. And I ain't running that. Too old for that. So we'll drive around there and pick that up. We've got to pick up by, we've got 2 minutes to get there, so that's all right. I'll go down there and pick it up. I have no idea what type of restaurant it is. AH-SAI-Yee. Whew, goodness me. Okay guys, I shall talk to you after I've dropped it off. Okay, I went into that restaurant, the one I have trouble pronouncing. AH-SAI-Yee. Anyway, so I found the place eventually, and as I was going in there, they doubled up. So I've just dropped off the first one. I don't know, believe it or not, I remembered to get a screenshot twice in 2 days. I am absolutely out of control. Literally. So anyway, it was $9.87 for the first one for 3.5 kilometres. Then $9.41 on top of that for 7 kilometres. So 10 kilometres, so 6 miles for $19. So that's all right. Only thing is taking me out of my zone again, because once again I'm sitting right on the edge of my zone. So I don't know whether I'm going to pause it up here or not. We'll see when I drop it off. It's only early, maybe just leave it on, see where we end up. It's not over to the left, which is bad. It's up the top of the hill here, so it might be all right. We'll do it and see what happens. All right, bye. All right, well, we just dropped that second one off at the place I can't pronounce, and I ended the dash. The pin was incorrect, which is, you know, out of, what have I done, 250 or 70? You know, it's only the second time it's happened. That's life. But I had to ring up the lady and find out exactly where she was. So I ended the dash there because I'm way out of my zone, so I'll drive back into my zone and then we will start afresh. So we did $93.05. That was for 4 hours of dashing. Active time was 2 hours and 36 minutes for $93. So that's pretty good. But 4 hours for the whole time that we were on there. And we did 8 deliveries. So slow to start with, and then picked up again towards the end there. I think it's just one of those things. I'm not gonna stop doing the mornings. I'll keep going for, you know, a bit longer and just get a good read on it, and then we'll go from there. But realistically, you could quite easily just not even bother with the first couple of hours. So we'll see where that goes. And we're just coming up to look out over little old Adelaide. Looks like dirty old Adelaide today. Oh, it's smoggy out there. But that's not from Adelaide, that's blowing over from Melbourne. Adelaide's beautiful. That's Glenelg way out in the distance in front of us. We got to sort of get halfway down there before we get back into our zone again. Yep. Sort of playing with the idea I might try for a bit longer today, as we did like 10.5 yesterday, and that gave us 220. Might see if it's a bit busier today, and then we'll go from there. And there's little old Adelaide out there. CBD's around the corner. Out there onto the right. Not sure whether you can even see. It's a dirty day. There's a lot of wind blowing the dust up or something. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll leave you there, and then when I get down I'll start another dash and see what happens. Alright guys, bye. Hey guys, I'm just sitting here waiting for another job to come in, but when I dropped that last one off, the time that I had in, it went over time because I was on a dash. When I completed that dash, it shut down the dash, which was supposed to, but because it was I was already one, it was over the time. So I set it for 9:30 and it shut down about 10 after I finished that. But this is the second time that it's done this. The first time I thought I was imagining it, but the second time, which was just then, it took 1% off my acceptance rate. So there must have been an order in that split second after I finished it and to when the timer shut down, and it has taken 1% off of my acceptance rate. It did it once before and I thought I was imagining things, but it's done it again. I've tried to talk to support because that's just not fair. I am actually trying to get my acceptance rate to 100%. So apart from my stupidity yesterday and forgetting to accept it, I have not actually declined an offer in a couple of hundred jobs. And this time I wasn't imagining it because I actually took footage this morning. I said, oh, look at that. My acceptance rate has clicked up to 99. And after that, I had a look and it dropped back to 98. So there is some sort of problem with the Doordash app. And I don't want to be critical about anything because that's not the sort of person I am. But if I've actually done nothing wrong and it's something to do with the app taking 1% off your acceptance rate when it's shutting it down because there was something in there you can't actually do anything about, well, I don't think that's actually fair. And I tried to contact support a couple of times, and because it's a virtual assistant, it just says there's nothing that you can do about it. So I put in there very dissatisfied and wrote a little story about it, and we'll see if anything happens. But there is now a record of it, and if it happens again, then I'm going to do the same thing again because I want to get my acceptance rate to 100%, and that sort of thing happening is just wrong. Everything else that I can see, I try and be positive about, and shit does happen with the timing and that. But yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Anyway, we've actually got a job here, so Woolworths, Marion. Okay, so we'll accept that. And remember to push the button before it times out this time. So we've got that. So that's just across the road. So we'll go and grab that. All right. Well, we've arrived at the store because the store's just there. All right. So we'll go and do that job. But yeah, I just thought I'd record that because yeah, that's just unacceptable, I'm afraid. If I have done absolutely nothing wrong because I've been pushing that button every single time, but for some reason when a timer is at work for when you want to finish the dash and it actually shuts, then it takes 1% off of your acceptance rate, and that's ridiculous. They need to do something about that. We will take it further. All right, boys and girls, bye. I'm just out of my zone up the hill, just looking back in there. I just had a lovely little conversation with an old fella there. It was from my hometown, which basically is straight across the peninsula over there, Port Lincoln. Yes. Nice having a chat to some of these people. Anyway, so we're heading back to our zone. So I'm just out of my zone, and when you are heading back to your zone, it says finding orders headed back to your zone. So going on about that last thing about losing my acceptance rating, I should not be able to actually lose anything if I'm out of my zone, and I was out of my zone up there. The only way that I could have actually lost that 1% acceptance rating when it shut down is if there was actually a job already in the queue that was designated to me. And because it shut it all down at the same time, I didn't see that order. So it's saying that I didn't accept it, even though I didn't see it. So anyway, interesting. I just have to keep an eye on that sort of thing. And now I think I might plan my time half an hour further on than when I really want to get out, and then get out before it shuts it down, just so that that doesn't happen. Because there's definitely something wrong there. I've lost 2% on it for no reason whatsoever, apart from it just shutting down, probably with me having a job in the queue. All right, no worries, boys and girls. I shall talk to you when I get another one. Bye. Did not quite get into, just pulling into my spot, just lining up to get in there. We've got another one. This is a Coles, $14, I think it is. We'll just check that I'm going to the right place before I get too carried away. Yeah, all right, so we are going to the right place. That's good, isn't it? All right. Okay, so drop that one off. Drop that one off. Right, so, this is a double. So double pickup, double drop off, $14.14, 3.8 kilometres. So it's 2.3 miles, $14.14. All right, we'll wander over there and pick them up. And then when we have got another, we'll drop them off and got another order, I'll get back to you. Okay, I just dropped off those 2 Coles. And I got a Hungry Jack's, but I was just talking to the lady there, and I just said, "What is this weather, man? It's supposed to be winter. I'm ready to go home and get my mankini on." Wonder how many contract violations would be in that. But this weather is just out of control. Loving it. Anyway, don't want to scare people with the thought of mankinis. That would be just very scary. So we're heading back. We are going for Hungry Jack's. Alright, so $9.69, 4.8 kilometres. So about 3 miles for $9.69. Lots of cool numbers there. Come on, boys and girls, my turn. What you doing, dude? No? Thanks, man. Right, so we'll go and do Hungry Jack's, and then I shall get back to you after then. Okay, just dropped that Hungry Jack's off, and lovely lady gave me a $5 tip, and sent her a lovely little message, because that's just absolutely fantastic, Cole. Now, we have a Nandos, and I'll tell you what, the first and only Nandos that I did I did not enjoy it at all. I must have waited 20 minutes or something like that. There was another guy there, and they was just looking at each other going, this is just really, really bad. But anyway, because I'm just taking everything because I like to be punished, we are going to go in there and see what happens. It is 12:25. We will see how long it takes. All right, boys and girls, bye. Okay, I've been sitting for about 20 minutes after dropping off that Nandos, and I love it when you're proved wrong. They had the meal ready, and the lady actually saw me coming, picked it up and walked to the counter, so you can't get better service than that. So I have to take back whatever I said, because that was just wonderful. Now I just got to check correctly how the hell I've got to get to this place. Down Sturt Road, so we'll go this way, and we're going somewhere I've never been before, which is always just so exciting. Come on, darling, you got right away. Bami? Haven't heard of that one before, haven't been there. Bami, $13.18, 9 kilometres, so 5.4 miles for $13.18. So we'll wander down there and see where it is. And it's going back out of zone as well. So we'll head over there and see what it is. Right guys, I shall get back to you. Thank you. Bye. Okay, I just dropped off that Bami, B-A-M-I, Bami, I suppose. And yeah, look at that. See, it's a dirty old day over Adelaide. Must be storms, dust storms and that coming back in. Anyway, so I've dropped that off and we're heading back into zone. It was a Vietnamese, it says special Vietnamese, I'm not sure what that means, but Vietnamese restaurant. Have not been there before. Yeah, like you can't eat, or you can just see the other side of the peninsula. So where I was raised is 700 kilometres by road, but it's only 150 kilometres straight across there. And you can see right down the coast there. It's a shame it's not a better day. Would look good, but anyway, I'm sure we'll see it again. Alright, so I've still got another kilometre before I get back into zone. And we'll get back to you when we get a couple more orders. Alright, bye. Three. So we'll do a wobbly without pissing too many people off, and then we'll go back. $10.43, 2.9 kilometres, 1.8 miles, 14 items, one customer, and it's basically just straight across the road there. That's very nice. I was just thinking to myself, I haven't had very many supermarket deliveries today, and then bang, straight away. And I can already push arrived at store. That's how close I am to it. You know, and these guys are always pretty switched on. Let's watch it work the opposite this time. I said Nandos was crap and it was great. I said these guys were excellent. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, bye. All right, I just dropped off that Woolworths at Brighton, and I've got another one just as I was pulling up at Marion, which is just there. $10.36, 1.5 kilometres. It's about 1.3 miles, and that is just there. We'll see. I'm so close I can push the arrived at store, pick up by 2:20, and Woolworths Brighton was fantastic as per usual. So all good. All right. Oh, we're at $175. This will take us to $185. So normally 8 hours we're around 200. But yesterday and today a little bit slow. This is a bit quicker than yesterday. But we'll keep going. See what we end up with. All right. Bye. I'll just show you where I've got to drive to. That's how far we had to drive. So, long way. You probably won't be able to see anything once we get under here, but we'll see if it. And we pull up just here, and they bring it out to us, and then we load it up. These guys are normally pretty cool as well. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. Oh, I better push that. Okay, I just dropped off that double from Woolworths. Yes, it was a double, and they added it on as I was about to leave, and as per usual I forgot to screenshot it. Anyway, so I've dropped both of those off, and I was just about back to the store. And we got a Woolworths at Brighton. $11.29, 4.9 kilometres, so 3 miles for $11.29. My English not good today. All right, we'll head down there and pick that up. I think it was only one. Yep, one customer. And I think that's going to take us over the 200, and it's coming up to, it'll be after 3. So I think we'll probably call it there. So I'll drop this one off, and then we'll see how we're feeling then. All right, bye. Okay, boys and girls, I have called it there. And I just dropped off that last Woolworths. And it's such a bloody beautiful day. Like, honestly, I think I'm just gonna wander off down the beach and have a bit of a look down there. We've made our $200. I mean, it's like, what was it? 200. $200.39. So I think we're just going to wander off home. What did we do? Well, we did 9 hours, but active time was 5 hours 46. So 6 hours. So it's over $30 an hour, which is fine by me. Honestly, I'm not stressing about the dollars, that's for certain. And you don't have to stress about this. This is easy, camp easy. It's like nothing. So I'm not too sure whether I am going out tomorrow. Tomorrow being Saturday. Saturday I normally watch my friend Nick delivers. She does a early morning live. So I might watch that and then decide on what I'm going to do. Because if I don't go out, then I'm going to get back to the editing, do some more editing, try and get some of these videos out, and we'll go from there. But we'll call it a wrap. That is Friday in a nutshell. We didn't do a hell of a lot this week. editing's taken up a lot of time. Now, what did we make for the week? I didn't even. 585 for the week, so it doesn't really matter. It's money, isn't it? So we did 1,300 the first week, 850 the second week, 585 this week. Probably going to be a similar amount next week because I've just got to get this editing done. So we might even go back to work one day, edit next day, work next, and so on until we catch up with the editing. It's nearly two weeks of it, so because I want to put out a group of videos, so there's something for people to watch, and plus it gives you the computers enough time to go through it and work out what my audience is and stuff like that. Anyway, enough rambling. Thank you very much for watching, if you're watching, and I'll talk to you either tomorrow or it will be Monday. All right, bye.